So Amy in Phoenix says, I'm sure it depends on the dog, but my dog barks at other dogs on walks. Is it better to keep trying to train through it or avoid other dogs? So what Amy is talking about is reactivity. And this is a cool question. I like this because she's asking, should she be avoiding those dogs when she sees them out on her walks, or should she be working her dog through that? One, so I'll have people that will come to me and they say, my dog barks at dogs every time we go for a walk, so we don't go for walks anymore. And it's the worst thing that can happen, because then your dog just gets less exercise and more pent up, and your walks get worse and they get louder, and they're like anticipating somebody walking because they're looking for it, right? They're looking for that reason to get excited and bark and lunge at the end of the leash, and the less walks you go on, the worse it gets. So in the beginning, when you're starting to train something, you do want to avoid all triggers if you can, right? And in a perfect world, anytime you want to tell your dog no, you want to think of an incompatible behavior or something else that they can do at the same time instead of whatever it is that you want to get rid of. So with reactivity, oftentimes reactivity combines pulling at the leash, lunging toward the other dog or whatever it is that's exciting for them, and barking. Barking is usually a huge part of that. So what can they do instead of barking? Oftentimes the behaviors that I'll use one of two behaviors when I'm working a dog through reactivity. One is a target, where I ask the dog to touch my hand while we're walking with his nose. So you'll just say target and he'll bump your hand with the nose. Or the other one is watch me. And that's just asking your dog to focus on you when you're walking. You ask for that because that's giving you an opportunity to reinforce your dog while they're trying to gain reinforcement by barking at that other dog or the mailman or whoever it is that they're excited about. So a watch me is in and of itself means nothing, but you train a watch me just like you would train a sit. So you would use a treat, you would lure them up, you put the treat over the dog's head. When the dog looks up, their butt goes down, and you would reinforce, right? So this is all called positive reinforcement training. So you can either pay your dog or you can punish your dog when you're training, and I choose to pay them at any chance I get. So usually when I'm working with a dog, especially when I'm working with a dog that's reactive or a dog that barks really heavily at other dogs, you have a training pouch with you filled with the most reinforcing things. I'm talking lunch meat, cheese slices, hot dog slices, boiled egg, boiled chicken, high protein, really reinforcing things that they don't have access to on a regular basis. I use that treat in my hand like this so I can show the dog, watch me, and I show them and I point it at my face and I say great or good or whatever it is, and you give them that reinforcement. And then you switch, you say, watch me, and then the treat comes from your other hand. And then you start building duration for that. When you teach those, you are avoiding those triggers while you're out on walks. So you're teaching those watch me or that other incompatible behavior like a target. You teach it first in the home where you're controlling the whole environment. It can be quiet, you guys can have the best treats, and you know that you can get that behavior taught 100%. Then you move into the backyard because it's a little bit more stimulating, but it's not as chaotic or unpredictable as on a walk. Then you do it in your front yard, and then you do it when you're actually out on a walk. And then you start adding little distractions, a person passing by, and then a person passing by with a dog when they're 100 feet away. And then the next time you ask for it, it's when they're 50 feet, 25, when they're passing you. And then you can get these watch me's and you're reinforcing really heavily, or you can get these targeted behaviors. So long story short, should you be avoiding what triggers your dog or should you be working through it? It's both. In the beginning, we are avoiding. So first we avoid until we can train a replacement behavior, and then we encounter and go beyond. If you have any questions about animal behavior, dog training, make sure you leave your questions in the comments below.